you want to make a difference, you're going to have to work from within. This lawsuit means shit, and it's not going to make a difference. And if you work from within, then maybe you can be, in a position where you can implement change that you want to implement. A lot of people were thinking, oh my gosh, she's working at the company that killed her mom. But if someone said that to you and you were in that position where you could actually, make those changes, would you do it? And I would do it, and there's so many of those moments this season, like, would you do it if you were in her shoes? So I think that there's aspects of her that's desperately trying to maintain her moral compass and her integrity, but there's also a part of her that lost her mother, and I really started thinking about the implications of that. When you lose as a child power and control, and you never feel justified, whether her being validated in this environment from the CEO that's literally saying, I believe in you, whether or not those inner needs become bigger than perhaps being, a good person. And I think that is so interesting and what people can relate to, within themselves. Like, whether or not it means more to her to garner that, to get that power and respect and validation she's so desperately wanted, or if she turns against C Corp and does something completely different. And I think it's that fine line. It's like, I will say there's going to be so many episodes where people go back and forth and don't know what is going on, because there is something this season. I asked Sam, he was like, you're never going to guess it, and I was like, yes I will. Yes I will. And I ran through every scenario I could think of. He was like, nope. And I was sitting at the table read, and we hadn't read it. So we read this first 6 by ourselves. We went to a warehouse. We read the last 4 together for the first time, and I was sitting there going, and he was like, and so yeah, I will say there's so many things this season that are completely unpredictable. It's gonna be really fun.
Season 1, Angela was sort of the person who was pushing Elliot towards the real world and towards social interaction. And sort of he ended up going in a different direction as it turns out. What function does she fulfill in her life?
That's such a good question. I have answers that I can't give you. Here's what I'll say about their relationship. There is definitely a lot of things going on. They both lost their parents. They both, Sam said, they had conversations about wanting to change the world, and they're going about it in 2 completely different ways. But they both essentially want the same thing. She's within the system, and he's basically trying to take the system down. And Sam did say to me this season, remember who you're different around, because I have a very specific dynamic with him, and I have a very different dynamic with Darlene, and those kind of stay, no matter how much Angela might shift, those always those seem to stay. It's kind of like anything else. It's like the people that you're closest to, you act differently around. What I will say is, those 3 have a lot to do with each other this season. Darlene, Angela, and Elliot. And you get to see a lot more about their relationships with each other, especially Angela and Elliot.
There was that moment where she, at the end of the first season, I guess when you talk about she needing control, it seems like the light had got on for her taking control. And I'm wondering, what kind of change do you think that she wants to make in support from inside? What change do you think she could make? And does having that sort of power then push those things off to the side?
That's a really good question, and I cannot. Okay. I just almost said something really stupid. She asked to be really specific. She asked to be. What I will say, because I hate being a person that can't give you anything. Like, what's the point? I suck. Sorry. But. So I think that if she can kind of work her way in start playing around. She's really smart. And I think that's what's very unpredictable about the horses. And I think that people didn't underestimate her, completely underestimate her. And I think Angela is not one that you should underestimate. She looks fragile. It's like she has a game plan in her back pocket and she is setting it. And if you watch really closely, she sets it really well. That's a good answer, right?